I'm CJ Wellerman. Thank you for joining us. This week we're talking international cricket and how racism is not only rife within the sport in the United Kingdom, but also my home country, Australia. But first, a quick reminder to click on the subscribe button below so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Now let's get into it. Okay, you may not know this, but cricket is near and dear to my heart, having played the game at all levels from junior ranks to representative teams to grade cricket, and then eventually a half dozen games for Indonesia at the 2007 ICC World Cup qualifiers, where I led my adopted country with bat and ball against international cricketing heavyweights Tonga, Samoa, Vanuatu, New Caledonia and Japan. Okay, so not quite the Ashes or the Gavaskar Border Trophy, but the point is I love cricket, and there's nothing more I love about the sport more than watching Australia defeat England. Which brings me full circle to the topic of this week's episode. Today is day one of the first Ashes test between Australia and England at the Gabba, and while much of the focus should be on the series itself, we are complicit in perpetuating institutional racism embedded within the sport if we don't take this opportunity to have an honest and frank conversation about it. A conversation that was started by Revelations Pakistan-born Azeem Rafiq enjoyed vicious racism during his time playing for Yorkshire. Play the clip.
Felt isolated, humiliated at times, constant use of the word in 2017 pre-season tour, we were in a place and Gary Ballance walks over and goes, "Why are you talking to him? You know he's a or he's not a sheikh, he's got no oil." And this happened in front of teammates, it happened in front of coaching staff.
The abuse came at a time when Rafiq was dealing with the loss of his unborn child.
Rafiq's courage paved the way for Pakistani-born cricketer Zoaib Sharif to come forward to share his victimisation during his time playing for Essex, which he says destroyed his career. Watch.
So my experiences go back about 20 years now to when I made my debut. You know, I was unfortunate enough to make my debut the day after the September the 11th attacks, and I was labelled bomber straight away coming into the changing room, and it was made worse that the fact that it was raining during the game, so we spent a lot of time in the changing room. So that bomber nickname just stuck.
How can anyone not feel saddened and outraged by the way in which both players have been treated by their respective teammates and clubs? But the broader point is this, that while you and I may be shocked by these revelations, I can assure you there's nothing here that comes as a surprise to cricketers of South Asian origin in the United Kingdom. A recent survey found that 35% of black, Asian and minority ethnic cricketers in England experience racism in the game, which explains why so many are forced out or denied opportunity in the professional ranks. Consider this, that whereas South Asians comprise 1/3 of all active cricketers in the UK, fewer than 5% of them make it into the country's professional squads, which demonstrates an extraordinary racial disparity and the privilege of whiteness. Here's Michael Holding, the great West Indian fast bowler of the 1980s, to explain this. Go.
To the teacher. History is written by the conqueror, not by those that are conquered. History is written by the people who do the harm, not by the people who get harmed. And we need to go back and teach both sides of history. And until we do that and educate the entire human race, this thing will not stop. They keep on telling me there's nothing called white privilege. Give me a break. I don't see any white people going into a store on Oxford Street and being followed. A black man walks in, somebody's following him everywhere he goes. That is basic white privilege. Whether that white person went in to rob the place or not is not going to be thought of that way. And things like that have to change.
More to the point, racism is structural, and by that we mean that while most white people do not hold racist attitudes in their heart, they are unwitting beneficiaries of a system that provides them undeniable advantages because of their whiteness. Here's Michael Holding again. Go. You see, white English cricketers benefit from a white-dominated structure that excludes and alienates cricketers from marginalised communities. For instance, a drinking culture along with a lad culture in England, or what we call a bloke culture in Australia, reinforces ideas of white masculine values and behaviour, which makes it difficult for Muslim and other ethnic religious minorities to fit in. And even when they do make it to the highest level, their religion is brought into view, a scrutiny not afforded to their teammates who hold mainstream Christian beliefs. Pakistani-born Australian batsman Usman Khawaja recently explained this phenomenon. Play.
You've never used your religion to make a statement, but when you scored that ton at the Gabba in 2015, the commentary was the first century for Australia by a Muslim. What did you make of that?
Yeah, I've always found that bizarre. That religion comes into sport so heavily, and it's a big part of my life. And don't get me wrong, I have a lot of pride when people talk about myself and Islam, and because it's such a big part of my life. But yeah, I still find it weird because I'm playing cricket, and you never sort of hear anything like that about anyone else. About what their faiths are or what they believe in. Like, I got my good mate Nick Maddinson, who's a vegan. So hopefully he'll come back in the Australian team, and when he scores 100, I wonder if he'll say
first vegan to score 100.
I don't know if he is, but
He also explained how South Asian players are subject to racial tropes that hold them back at the selection table and in the eyes of the public. Watch.
That I was lazy or not trying hard when I'm playing for Australia is so far from the truth. And I honestly think a part of that is because I'm Pakistani, and it's one of those cultural things that Pakistani, especially in the cricketing world, are perceived to be lazy. So apparently, because I was born in Pakistan, I think without people realising it, it's in the back of their heads no matter what happens. So
is that
While racial tropes are subtle and work to form unconscious views of racial and ethnic minorities, Australian cricket is also no stranger to abusive forms of racism, as witnessed by the Indian cricket team during the Sydney Test earlier this year. Go.
Australia's National Cricket Authority has issued an apology to the visiting players from India over allegations that fans in the crowd hurled racist abuse at them. The Indian team lodged an official complaint after day 3 of the Test match on Saturday, after 2 players, Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj, complained of hearing racist slurs whilst fielding near the spectators. 6 people were then ejected from the ground once the issue had been raised with umpires. Another player, Ravi Ashwin, says this isn't the first time such incidents have happened in Australia.
Even worse, Australian cricketers have also been credibly accused of racially vilifying their South Asian counterparts. For instance, English cricketer superstar Moeen Ali, whose parents are Pakistani, was hit with the Muslim terror slur by an Australian cricketer during the 2015 Ashes series. Roll it.
And then one of the opposition called me Osama, said, take that Osama, and I personally, I couldn't believe what I'd heard and things like that. And time around, obviously the teammates also knew and stuff like that, and I had decided that we won't pursue it or take it any further because it's obviously my word against the person's word. And I just thought, I know what he said, he knew what he said, and everyone else knew us all around and stuff, and I just sort of.
There are far too many similar examples, but what's truly disappointing is the way in which both the Australian public and Australian cricket team remain stubbornly reluctant to talk earnestly about it. Last year, the national side came under fire for refusing to take a knee in solidarity with racial justice movements, which many rightly view as its quiet support for the status quo, meaning Australia's top sporting team is unwilling to seriously address racial inequality. Cricketing authorities in Australia and England should be taking the lead here. Racism will not disappear from the sport by sweeping the problem under the rug or pretending it doesn't exist. For far too long, the sport's leadership has allowed racism to fester unchallenged and then normalise. Our great game has been made immeasurably better by the extraordinary rise of the Indian cricket team in recent years and the unmatched excitement Pakistani players such as Shaheen Afridi and Babar Azam bring to the sport. I mean, watch this.
That's an amazing shot. Makes it look so easy.
Watch that into the bat. That is absolutely fine.
The passion South Asian communities bring to cricket is why Indian and Pakistani players now dominate the Test and ODI rankings, which means Australia and England would be crazy to make it harder for players of South Asian origin to make it into their respective national teams. Cricket is about bringing people together, so let's make that happen. Anyway, that's a wrap for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to this channel and help spread the word with your friends and family on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And we kindly ask you please support this endeavour by becoming a member of this show at patreon.com/CJ We can't produce, sustain and grow this show without your help, and we offer exclusive benefits to those who do. But for now, good night, good morning or good day, wherever you are, and stay blessed.